My influence so enormous. Got that shit you love to sing along with. Like every line is the chorus. I'm born in Brooklyn like Biggie. I'm born in Brooklyn like Jordan. I'm born in Brooklyn like Tyson. You don't live this, you just a tourist.
Alright, so we are sitting here at Yoshi's in San Francisco with Idle Warship, aka Talib Kweli and Reese.
Yep.
And they just killed it outside for the first show, and then they have another show right after this.
Yeah, we have 2 sets at Yoshi's.
All right then.
Was that guy?
that was the kid outside of the show who was talking all the whole time.
Oh my gosh, this kid was talking of like the whole show. He wanted a conversation.
When
he was telling you what to play.
When Blackbird was doing the solo, he was like, Kweli! Kweli!
Oh my God.
Kweli! And I'm standing there watching the solo, and I jammed behind me like, Kweli! Kweli! And I almost turned around and was like, do you see what?
We're busy right now. Yeah, I had to tell somebody one time too, like, I'm actually a little bit busy right now. Can we talk later? And it's,
Yeah.
So whatever you do, don't talk to people while they're on stage.
Let that be a lesson to you.
Yeah, don't.
Let them perform.
Yeah,
talk to them after the show.
Right. Or don't even do that either.
Yeah, just email me.
All right, so
Email you.
At qualityclub.com, you can actually email me, and I will respond.
Yeah.
I'm way better at emails.
Fantastic. And it's been a while since you guys have performed together.
Well, Idle Worship.
Idle Worship, right.
Idle Worship,
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you guys going to be working on any new music? Putting anything out as Idle Worship?
Yes.
I think so, but not at this month or anything like that, or this year, because I want to put out a solo project first. Right. Kweli is putting out solo projects as well, and after that we're going to get back together and do another
I can
project.
see us next year. We actually just started talking about it recently.
Yeah. What kind of album we're going to make?
Yeah, the show came at a good time because we're now starting to rethink about it. Reese is at the end stages of recording her next album, Reset, and and then after Reset, really our focus is Idle Worship.
Yeah.
And then you were working on a documentary, right?
Yeah, actually, I just finished the documentary. I just saw the first draft of it maybe two days ago. And shout out to Steve Zegans, he's the director. And together, basically, we just did this documentary about what was going on for the last 4 years of my life. We started it in 2010, and it's really good and it's really honest. And I was really happy with it because you're actually really getting who I am, and not who Steve Zegans thinks I am, or who Steve Zegans, the director, wanted me to be, or who he thought I was. He actually just kind of came around and actually showed me in the light that I actually see myself, and in some ways that I don't see myself, but that I've learned to see myself that way because of what other people say and think. So I thought it was pretty accurate, and I'm happy with it, and I think people will enjoy it because it lets you know what I've been doing for the last 4 years.
How has it been working on a documentary for the last 4 years of your life?
Well, I wasn't really doing anything but living. Somebody else was really working on it. Like, they were filming me and all that kind of stuff and coming to wherever I happened to be. So it didn't feel like I was really doing much except, living my life. Like, I didn't, with reality TV, you kind of think these people on reality TV kind of make you feel like they're working. But they are working because it's scripted. It's not real. If it was not scripted and you really just followed them around, they probably would tell you it does not feel like work. So my documentary didn't feel like work because all I did was the normal work that I do in my life. I didn't have to make up anything or, get drunk and hang out with my girlfriends to have an interesting, scene. So for me, it didn't feel like a lot of work. It was just great. But it's great to reflect and look at what you're doing, So that's cool.
And then you put out Gravitas earlier this year,
right?
On Quality Club,
qualityclub.com.
And then I noticed that it was also for sale on Amazon.com.
That's right, because I did a distribution deal with Fat Beats, and so they manufactured and produced the physical CDs. And everybody that Fat Beats has relationships with for the physical, you can go to Amazon or mom and pop record stores or whatever. But if you want the digital, you have to come to Quality Club still, definitely. And so shout out to Fat Beats.
And if you want to actually communicate with you, that's part of the qualityclub.com is you actually can communicate with your fans.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like I seen a kid getting beat in the airport last week, And I went on Twitter and was talking about, man, I hate when kids get beat. It's like that's lazy ass parenting. You know, like you can't think through the problem, you can't communicate with your kid. And people got mad at me, of course. And there's one fan who had bought the Gravitas album, hit me at Quality Club. I wrote this whole long essay about how she struggles, how she beats her kids sometimes when they get out of line, and that's how she learned, how she struggles with it, and how she felt like the way that I was on Twitter was a little bit more heavy-handed and callous to parents who might have grown up like that, and parents who still do that. And so I haven't hit her back yet. I plan to, because I want to give the right nuanced response to what she says. But it's like I've had people ask me to help them with their homework. I've had people who just want to thank me for the show. I put people on the guest list behind the Quality Club, you know. So it's a good tool for me.
It's an interesting way of kind of, you know, putting your music out to your fans and then also communicating it. You know, it could actually lend itself to, you know, other artists. Like you could create a system where artists can put out their work and then they actually have access to their fans.
Well, that's exactly how it happened for me. What I'm doing with Quality Club is very similar to what Louis C.K. did with his website. And he's somebody who's my favorite comedian. He's everybody's favorite comedian. And, you know, I follow his moves a lot. And I've been trying to figure out a way to do what he did. And Ryan Leslie, who's an incredible artist, called me up and said, hey, I got this idea that I've been doing, and I want to meet with you about it. And I'm not like a meeting guy. Like I said, I'm an email guy. So I'm like, email it to me. He's like, no, I need to come over your house and show you what I've been doing. And he came over my house, and he showed me RyanLeslie.com. And he told me, essentially, he's doing what he built the website. And while he was explaining it to me, his phone pinged, and it was somebody who bought his album. And he called the kid in my kitchen. I was like, yo, this is Ryan Leslie. Thank you for buying the album. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. And that sold me on it. I haven't called anybody. That's a little too breaking down the fourth wall for me. But, you know, Ryan Leslie built QualityClub.com and gave it to me. You know, so it's very generous and it's exactly what you just said. He said, I feel like you're the type of artist that can benefit from this and spread the word on it and make it so that other artists want to do it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the music industry is not where it should be. You know, it's just crazy. It's hard to actually get out there and, you know, sell your stuff or make any money off it. So it's great that artists are actually taking, you know, it into their own hands.
Well, the ones like the ones who are serious about it, we don't have a choice. It's either do this or get a day job. You know, that's what it is.
So where do you see hip hop going? You know, nowadays. Well, what's the future of hip hop?
Yasin Bey famously said hip hop is not like some giant asleep in the hills. It's going to go wherever the people go, and that's rings true. You know, where the people are at, where hip hop is at. You know, what hip hop sounds like, and this is hard for hip hop purists to digest sometimes. But hip hop sounds exactly like what the people want to hear. And I'm talking about all of hip hop. I'm not just talking about mainstream hip hop. Mainstream hip hop, mainstream corporate based hip hop doesn't give you the full spectrum of what hip hop is and what people are listening to. You know, artists from Kendrick Lamar to Drake to Kanye West don't blow up because the label backs them. They blow up because of creative decisions they're making and because of how they're interacting with their fan base. And then the label's able to jump on that and make money behind that, certainly. But it's now led by the artist, as opposed to when I first came into business, it was led by the label and who you knew and what label you were on, and maybe who produced your record or something like that. Now it's led by artistic expression. So now you're talking about, you know, Chance the Rapper with No Deal put out free mixtape, and the mixtape is so good people start buying it, bootleg copies of it it gets on Billboard, and now he's doing records with Justin Bieber. We're in a strange time. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think about the whole hip hop museum kind of battle? You have the National Museum of Hip Hop, and then you have the Universal Museum of Hip Hop.
I'm not hip. Really?
Yeah, I've never.
You haven't heard about that?
No, this is hilarious.
This is real. Like,
this is real. There's actually two museums.
Why can't it be both?
There's actually two museums of hip hop that are trying
hold on,
to
let me
start.
explain. Let me understand. So I just get this understood. The hip hop museums are beefing. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Awesome. Why can't it be two? You have so many African American museums in every city.
We really don't.
We have one in Detroit. There's one in Philly.
There's a lot of shitty ones.
Yeah,
is
but
one in Philly good?
You can have more than one. Yeah, but you can have more than one.
I'm just saying. I went to the Afro-American Museum in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and that should put anything we have to shame.
Oh, it's really great.
Oh yeah, it's like 3 floors of greatness.
Oh wow. Well, the Philly one is not bad at all. It's pretty good.
I went to one in somewhere.
Detroit has a good one.
I went
too.
to one in St. Louis, I think. That was just
I mean,
But anyway, I'm
St.
sorry.
Louis.
Tell me what the beef is. I don't know what the beef is.
yeah, we never even heard of it.
Like one wants to house the museum in the Bronx, one wants to house it in Harlem. You know,
I don't understand why.
they have different philosophies. It's
What
it's
about
crazy.
Brooklyn? That's where why
Yeah.
wouldn't they even do it in Brooklyn?
No.
I want to join this.
The Bronx
fight.
makes sense. Universal Zulu Nation makes sense.
What about
You
Brooklyn?
know.
Doesn't?
Brooklyn has its place in hip hop history, but it's not the Bronx. Museums are great, but
I like them.
museums are for celebrating dead things. So I don't know if I'm ready for the hip hop museum yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hip hop is supposed to be underground too. You really want a museum about it?
It's now it's part of the establishment. Hip hop is a caricature of itself at this point. So a hip hop museum actually makes a lot of sense. You know, in a warped way.
I mean,
All right. So I know you guys got to go back on stage. So I just want to get your take on your favorite new MCs in the game.
I was listening to Isaiah Rashad recently, and I like that a lot. I just signed a cat to Javoti Media, who's my favorite MC in a long time. His name is Nico Is. He's a Brazilian, Argentinian dude from Orlando, Florida. He has a mixtape out. I love this doom.
distracting.
Yeah, I love it.
When your favorite song comes on the radio.
Yeah.
What's the mixtape called? Good
Blood.
Good Blood.
And Brazilian and Portuguese is Sangue Bom.
Saga Bomb.
Sangue Bom.
Yeah. We just did a video in Orlando
For What's Real for the song we
for
did.
What's Real, and Nico was there,
Nico.
and his whole crew.
But I'm underselling Nico right now. He's really an incredible artist.
Yeah.
Like he's one of those artists that I don't put my name behind a lot of things, and it's just like I'm very excited about him as an artist.
Fantastic. Well, definitely look forward to hearing more from him and more from Idle Warship
Yep.
in the future. And thanks for sitting down with us.
No doubt.
No problem.
a great
for
show.
having us.
No doubt. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
This was way before I had shit, way before attraction deteriorated to madness. All I wanted was a hit and a split and a smack and a chap, and I wonder why I love so violent. Crimes of passion are usually just reaction.